going to start our new chapter, that is chapter number 1, rational numbers. And in rational numbers, first of all, I would like to give you some definitions which you had learned previously also in previous classes. Just see that first is natural numbers. Okay, just try to recall the things. Everybody of you should know what are natural numbers. I am writing them. The counting numbers, write all these things in your copy also, so that whenever you will require these definition, you can get from your copy. The counting numbers starting from 1 are known as rational numbers. See that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. There is no limit of the greatest natural number, so these can be represented by n. Okay, then second definition comes whole numbers. Whole numbers, already all of these things you have learned in previously, so just we are recalling them. Whole numbers, the set of natural numbers including with 0. If along with this set, if we will include 0, then including with 0 is known as whole numbers. It can be represented by like that: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Okay, then next definition comes integers. Now see that integers are positive natural numbers and negative natural numbers. Including with 0. Including are known as integers. See that if I will write positive natural number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, then negative natural numbers will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 and so on, in this way. Okay, and including with 0, in middle 0 will come, because 0 is neither positive nor negative, so it will come in the middle. So this set of numbers is known as the integers. Okay, now next thing is rational numbers. Now next definition is rational numbers. Now that is last definition, which is our chapter name, that is rational numbers. The numbers which can be written, the numbers which can be written in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q both are integer, where P and Q both are integers and Q not equal to 0. Okay, Q means denominator never, it can be 0, are known as rational numbers, are known as rational numbers. Let's try to understand this. Example we are going to take now. For example, okay, what it is written, the numbers which can be written in the form of P upon Q, where P and Q both are integers, where P and Q it can be integers, but Q means it will be in denominator, it never be 0, are known as rational numbers. See that, for example, 3 upon 4, minus 5 upon 7, 6 upon minus 9, okay, and 9 upon 12, and minus 7 upon also, comma, minus 7 upon minus 5. These all are rational numbers. These all are rational numbers. Or also, if we will like write 3 upon 0, then it cannot be a rational number. Why? Because it is not fulfilling our definition. Because it very clear in the definition we have to given that Q means denominator, it can be 0. Denominator it cannot be 0. So it is not possible. But another way is, suppose we have given any number and he is saying us that write this number in the form of a rational number, then we can write, just see, suppose we have given number 5 and he is saying, is 5 is a rational number? Is 5 is a rational number? Then what answer you can give? Yes, 5 is a rational number. How 5 is a rational number? We can write 5 in a form of P upon Q. How? 5 upon 1 we can write. In this way, 5 upon 1 is satisfying the condition of P upon Q. 5 and 1 both are integer, and 1 where 1 is not equal to 0. 1 is not equal to 0. So 5 can be written in a form of P upon Q. So in this way you can write 11 also in the form of P upon Q, minus 9, minus 7, any number you can write in the form of P upon Q also. Okay, because but never write 0 under the fraction. Okay, and then next thing comes, always the student having doubt, then what is the difference between the integers and rational numbers and fractions? See beta, fractions means if we are dividing something and then we are taking the parts of it, then it is known as the fraction. Suppose we have divided any circle and we have taken the three parts of it. Suppose these 3 parts we have taken, which I have done study. Okay, then 3 upon 4. How many parts we have divided? 3 upon 4. Then it is known as a fraction. Okay, so fraction cannot be negative, but rational numbers are negative also. Why? Because we say that P and Q will be integer, and in set of integer we are having positive numbers and as well as negative numbers. So in this way, now maybe it will be clear to all of you that fractions are different from the rational numbers. Okay, although the rules are same, solving method is also same, but fractions and rational numbers having some difference. Fraction cannot be negative. Now just see, we are going to learn some properties. You have learned now some properties: closure property, associative property, commutative property, and means identities you have learned for the integers and whole numbers in class 7. Now we are going to learn all these properties for the rational numbers also, and in a short way we are going to repeat these properties for integers and whole numbers also. First of all, now we are going to learn properties of rational numbers, in which first of all we are going to learn properties. First, whatever property we will learn, first of all we will try to understand for whole numbers, then for integer, and then for rational numbers. See that first we are going to learn closure property. Closure property. And what closure property says, that if A and B are any two whole numbers, okay, then A plus B, for addition I am writing, for addition A plus B is also a whole number. Yes, obviously, if suppose we have taken A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 2, 3 plus 2 will also belong, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 will also belong to whole number. But for subtraction it cannot be true. Suppose if I am taking A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 5, 2 minus 5 it will come minus 3. So it cannot be 2 minus 3. Negative numbers are not in a set of whole numbers. So it cannot be true for subtraction. Then for what it can be true? For multiplication. For multiplication it can be true. Okay, if A into B is also a whole number, okay, I am just repeating the things. And for division also it cannot be possible. Suppose we have taken A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 5, so 3 upon 5 is not belonging to the set of whole numbers. Okay, so in this way closure property is satisfied only for addition and for multiplication. Now we are going to prove this closure property for what? Second thing is integers. Okay, in short I am writing closure property for integer. Okay, now suppose if A and B are any two integers, then first we are going to prove it for addition. Yes, if I will take A plus B will also belong to set of integers. See that if I will take A is equal to 2 and B is equal to minus 1, so A plus B is equal to 2 plus minus 1, so it will be plus into minus, 2 minus 1, it will be 1, and you already know that 1 comes in a set of integers. So for addition that closure property will give positive result. Okay, now come to the for subtraction. Closure property for subtraction. Now this closure property first we have proved for addition. Now we are going to prove it for subtraction. Suppose if A is equal to 5 and B is equal to minus 6, then A minus B. Subtraction means A minus B. A minus B, if it will belongs to the integer, then means for that addition is also, subtraction is also closed for closure property. Just see that A is equal to 5, B, then see that minus sign, then this B, value of B is minus 6. So what it will be? 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. You already know 11 will belongs to, it will come is equal to, it will be integer. So means subtraction, for subtraction of integer, Okay, it will also belongs to the integer. Now come to the multiplication. Third one is for multiplication, for which we are using, for integers we are satisfying. Third number for multiplication. If same numbers I am taking, a is equal to 5 and b is equal to -6, then a minus a into b is equal to 5 into -6. 5 6 is 30 minus 30. So it will also come in the set of integers. Okay, because there is no limit on the negative side and no limit on the positive side and 0 in the middle of the integers. Okay, now come to the for division. Last one is division, and then same all these property we will prove for rational numbers. Now see that for multiplication we have taken, now for division we are going to take. If a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 3, then a divided by b. For division we are going to prove now. For division of integers. Okay. Now see that a divided by b, 5 upon 3. These kinds of number in the fraction form are not coming in a set of integer. So for division is not a integer. Is not a integer. Okay. So only for, you have seen that just now you have seen that for in integers it is true for addition, subtraction and multiplication. For division of integers result will not come a integer. So for division of integers this closure property is not satisfied. Now we are coming to the rational number. This means closure property now we are going to prove one by one for rational numbers now. Now see that we are going to learn closure property. First of all for addition, closure property for rational number. First comes for addition. Okay, for addition. If a is equal to minus 2 upon 3 and b is equal to 5 upon 3. It means what closure property says if a and b are any two rational numbers, then for addition their sum a plus b also comes, it should come rational number. Just see what happens. A is equal to minus 2 upon 3 and b means plus 5 upon 3. See that. Minus 2 plus 5 minus 2, 3 upon 3. 3 upon 3 means 1. And 1 is a rational number. Just now I explained you, because it can be written in a form of p upon q, where p is integer, 1 is integer and q is not equal to 0. So it is for addition, it is true, is a rational number, Okay. Now for subtraction we are going to verify. For subtraction, if a and b are any two rational numbers, then a minus b will also be a rational number. See that now. If a is equal to 7 upon 4 and b is equal to, suppose we are taking 6 upon 4, then a minus b means 7 upon 4 or minus 6 upon 4. What will come? 7 minus 6 upon 4, because their denominators are same. So there is no need to take LCM. 7 minus 6, 1 upon 4, and it will be equal to a rational number. So closure property is true for addition. For just now we have proved it true for addition or for subtraction. Okay, now we are going to prove closure property of rational number for this time multiplication. Just see now. See that now for multiplication, suppose if a and b are any two integers, by mistake I have taken any two rational numbers we are taking, because this time we are proving it for rational number, any two rational numbers. Okay, then a into b, if we will take their multiplication and whatever result we have taken, that result as a c, where c will also be a rational number. Just see that if a is equal to 2 upon 3 and b is equal to suppose 5 upon 3, then a into b means 2 upon 3 into 5 upon 3. 5 2 ja 10, 10 upon 3 3 ja 9. Okay, so it is also a rational number. It also a rational number. Okay, so in this way closure property comes true for addition, subtraction or multiplication. Now last we are going to prove that for division. Now closure property of rational number we are going to prove it for division now. Suppose a and b are any two rational numbers. Okay, then a divided by b. Now for division, whatever result c will come, if it will also be a it should be a rational number. Just see what happens if we have taken, for example, we have taken a is equal to 2 upon 3 and b is equal to minus 5 upon 6. So a divided by b, what, how you can write them? 2 upon 3 divided by 5 upon 6. Okay, and you already know for the division how we are changing. Change divide sign into multiply sign, and we will take the reciprocal of minus 5 upon 6 and reciprocal of minus 5 upon 6 as we will write 6 upon minus 5. So write what it will come, 2 upon 3. What I have written, divide sign into multiply, and reciprocal of minus 5 upon 6 will be 6 upon minus 5. So see that what result will come, 6 2 ja 12, 3 5 ja 15, minus 15. Okay, 3 5 ja 15, minus 15. And you see that this is also a rational number, is a rational number, is a rational number. See that, because 12 is an integer and denominator is not equal to 0, so it is belonging to a rational number. So just see that whatever learned in this chapter till now, first of all we have learned the definitions: natural numbers, whole numbers, integers. Okay, then we have learned the definition of rational numbers, means the numbers which can be written in a form of p upon q are known as the rational numbers. Okay, recapitulation. Then we have learned properties of rational number. First of all we have learned for whole number, and you already know that in whole numbers only for the addition and multiplication it was true. In case of integer, for addition, for subtraction and for multiplication it was true, not for division. And in case of rational number, the closure property is true for addition, subtraction, multiplication or division. Okay, in all the cases whatever the result was coming, those were also belonging to the rational number. Now from the next class onwards we will learn, means this was only one property and we have learned for all these things. In the same way, second time we will learn commutative property for whole numbers, integer and rational numbers, and in this way associative property and all the rest of the properties also. Till that, thank you, and thank you to every one of you.